Oh dear God. You see, my name's
2K,
and I just won,
WWE Games.
but there's one problem. Everybody still thinks that I absolutely suck!
I have owned every annual WWE game from SmackDown vs. Raw to WWE 2K18. However, seeing how the past 3 games have been, I'm actually starting to contemplate not buying the next WWE game. The only reason there are annual games for WWE anymore is simply to update the game, and the not-so-new brand split was one of the only differences to the game that actually made me want to get it, along with the addition of DIY, of course. The carry system is pretty much useless, and everything used with the carry system can be executed much easier in different ways instead of making actual new and innovative, interesting ways to use the carry system, and thus making the game more fun. I'll go more in depth into that later, and I think I'm using. Before then, however, I bring to you how 2K have ruined WWE games. So I'm just waiting for Square Enix E3 to start. So I decided to, why not bash on a game that I own? So continuing from just now, I have played all main WWE games from SmackDown vs. Raw 2006 to 2K18. However, I've only enjoyed from SVR 2006 to WWE 2K14. Heads up, WWE 2K14 was barely made by 2K. It's pretty much an updated version of WWE 13, and 2K swooped in at the last second and bought WWE Games from THQ and slapped their logo on it, and thus the only good WWE 2K game, with big quotation marks. Also, I just wanted to get this off my chest before I ramble on too much, but how narcissistic do you have to be to put your own company name on your games? So let's play a game of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. The letters 2K consecutively come up 13 times on this package. Now let's see on the inside now. My memory is a fucking mess. Thank you, post-recording me, because I'm too lazy to do this right now. And whilst we're here, why not take a look at the back cover and read its boring contents? Most realistic WWE video game ever. A new graphics engine delivers a visual overhaul on the most realistic WWE graphics to date. Okay, yes, it is the most realistic in terms of graphics, but overall, graphics really aren't that good, especially like compared to other games. Graphics, I'm a firm believer of graphics don't really matter in terms of, or it sort of does to create an atmosphere, and of course actually be able to see what you're doing. But people, like, in terms of how good a game is, as long as it creates an atmosphere, I don't care if it looks realistic. Like, I hate it when I'm going through comments of a great game and I say it like, oh, well, it looks like it should belong on a Super Nintendo. Next-gen consoles aren't just for graphics, okay? It's for hardware capability as well, and I don't know, I just wanted to ramble on. The WWE 2K experience also includes a brand new commentary system. Yes, it does. Is it good? No, it isn't. It's not good.
Now it's time for the Royal Rumble main event. Singles action coming your way.
Just when you thought he had nothing left.
Just as it could be over here.
You'd have to think hitting the finisher here could end this thing.
Going to be tough for him to fight back from this.
Did right now. Randy Orton got the worst end of that stick.
This singles contest has a victor. Oh, thank goodness. Thank goodness. That could have been disastrous. I think it's safe to say this issue is far from resolved.
Probably wise not to focus too much on this superstar's injury. I mean, half the roster is likely competing with some sort of injury right now. It's just part of the game.
Goes with the back rake, and with good reason. Excellent move. The Miz with the offense. He's still not moving, guys. He might be out, Cole.
It's bloody awful. It's the worst. Of course, the commentary is pretty much always bad. The last game I remember commentary being really good in was SVR 08. I haven't played 09 in a while, so I can't remember the commentary on that. But 08 was good. It's quite good, but like the commentary it doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel inspired at all. It's just dull and boring. You know those I've been back in WWE 13 games where people would create like dream matches, like highlighted dream matches, like put together clips, but to add realism to it, they would get commentary from real life and put it into the game. But because of course that match never actually happened before, by exactly, they couldn't get commentary that actually perfectly fits it, so it just sort of feels unnatural and weird. And it just doesn't. That's the commentary in this game. The addition of 8-man matches, it's scary how long it took to do this. It's not even like a hardware issue. Back in the N64 days, they could do 8-man matches there, it was perfectly fine. But of course, when it's on the N64, 8-man perfectly fine, but on Xbox or PS4, it runs terribly. It's clumsy, it's clunky, it's laggy, it's hard to control, barely reverse. Even when there's only like 2 or 3 people in the ring, it's still really laggy because it's still registering the other people in the match, even though they've left or they haven't come out yet. In terms of Royal Rumble, making Royal Rumbles not fun to play, and the only way to actually do that, have them not lag, is spend £1,000 on Xbox One X, PS4 Pro, PC that actually runs games. Grapple carry system. It's, as I said before, it's uninspired, it's dull, it's frankly annoying that they got this wrong, because it's like another excuse for them to not add functionality of steel steps. Because at the moment you can only power bomb, power slam again, and slam them onto it. Especially like the moves you use with it. It's just 2 of the moves are the same. You have 4 positions for the carry system. Power bomb, which is RB and up. Fireman's carry, RB and down. I believe it's RB and left. Yes. Over the shoulder, RB right, and like a slam like that. Position RB down. They're both power slam. It just does that. Why can't you just make an interesting move, or at least another move that isn't the power slam already? It's the only time you ever use it is to carry them around, which that in itself is really clunky. I can't explain how bad it is, because if you want to turn around, you have to you turn around, but then you move like from one side of the ring to the middle of the ring. Because it's really slow as well, especially transitioning them from place to place. Because like when you throw them onto the ropes for a move or something, you can only interact with the ropes in one of those moves, and that's power slam position. That's just like stun gun, and that in itself was uninspired. You can create a load more moves, and especially in the trailer, there was a powerbomb slingshot. I thought, oh, that's a creative way for you to carry position. You didn't use the carry position, it's just a grapple from the bloody thing. I can't even explain how annoying it is. Like the step, like when the steps are stacked on the steps, like corner of the ring, outside the post, you can only do you can only get them in a power slam position in there, and then if you accidentally, if you don't know that, and you have like a power bomb or something, it takes ages, forever, to transition them into a power slam position. By the time you get to it, they've mashed B or circle and they've gotten out. It's because even when you're transitioning, you can get out of it. Why can't they just, like back in the others when the carry system was implemented, why can't they just have like a strike to try to get out of it, or like struggle, not a specific amount of times you have to press a certain button. Even when they're transitioning, you can still use it. Thousands of new animations. That's just a complete lie, isn't it? It's not new. They're reused. Just new, updated animations of old movies, and some of the moves are straight up copy the animation. Like there's a Casisono's electric chair rolling elbow. The elbow in that is copied from the elbow strike. But it's literally the exact same movement. Just copied it from there. Of course, it does save time for them to work on the game, make it better. But they don't make the game better. They don't. If you're gonna do that, at least make the game good. You're not making the game any better. It wouldn't be any better or any worse if it didn't. Why is this annoying me so much? It's a simple animation. Why do I care? Oh no, I know why I care, because they don't care about the game. Ow, sorry. SmackDown vs. Raw 2008, as I mentioned earlier, definitely a way better game than this. Let's read the back of it. This is, I don't know how I noticed this, I wasn't even expecting this, but I just wanted to 8 unique superstar fighting styles, just fight high flower, hardcore. It's simple and it tells you the game and correctly amps you up for it, because it is a good game. 24/7 mode, live the life of a WWE superstar by managing daily activities, accomplish career milestones in enshrinement into WWE Hall of Fame, yes. New struggle submission system, new pressure based system allows players to decide how much pressure to apply using the right stick. Good idea, cool. Is well implemented. ECW invades WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 with a variety of extreme superstars, arenas, and hardcore weapons. Originally, when you first built the game, it doesn't seem like there is, but under the Legends categories, and there's a whole Legends ECW category, there's quite a lot ECW in there. You got modern, not really modern, but modern this time, CM Punk, Elijah Burke, Tommy Dreamer was both, but you also had Legends, Mick Foley was it's under the Legends category because he was Mick Foley in WWE, but he's in TCW. Sabu, Sandman. Yeah. Oh, I just can't remember off the top of my head because I haven't played this in ages. Bobby Lashley, everyone loved him in ECW. Everyone loves him now too, don't they? Oh, just like he loves his sister. Massive backstage area. Yes, it's quite big, especially from last year. There was like a hallway and 2 rooms. Whoa! But now you also have a parking lot area, catering area. You can barely do anything in it. You can barely do anything in it. There's a hallway again, and another hallway. But there's also another locker room, and Mr. McMahon's office as well, with a dinosaur skull on, probably representing WCW. But there isn't anything you can interact with. You can just like power bomb them onto a table, DDT them onto it. It's the same in the other office. The other locker room especially is disappointing. You can only interact with the lockers. It is literally a locker room. It is nothing but lockers. It's like, oh cool, treadmills. It's gonna be like SmackDown not SmackDown vs. Raw. SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, where you could like run on them and like do moves on them and stuff. No, it is not. It's a design aspect. This entire game is a design aspect. Backstage area, there's nothing to do. It's bland. It's dull. Not only that, but you barely get to experience any of it because the AI keeps you in that like little section that was. Pretty much, it keeps the AI will not want you to go past like where they expanded on. Why? Why? Just improve your AI. Oh my god! You try to run away from them, and then you run out of stamina. They get you because for some reason they're always faster than you. And then the AI like brings you back. Even if it's a false count anywhere, it tries to bring you back to the ring. It's a false count anywhere match. You can do more damage there. You can throw him into the bloody electric wire. You can powerbomb him onto an office desk, which would be much better if you could break the office desk. You can throw them off of a bloody semi. Dive off of it. Hit them into a car. What can you do in the ringside area? You can put them through a table. You should throw them into the post. Throw them through the barricade. Throw them off the really, really, really small ramp. Oh, to stage. Sorry, it's like this big. Imagine being thrown off that. The horror. I just want to throw it on the floor because of my anger of the game. Remember? Yeah, and not only that, but oh, maybe you can use the carry system. No, because I get out of it immediately. Oh, maybe you can use the new drag. No, because that's the exact same as a drag carry system. Oh, you can still Irish whip them, right? Yes, you can. About 2 centimeters each time. And they'll probably reverse it because you're going to be on Legendary, because anything under Legendary is pretty much easy mode. Like, it's astounding how horrible this game is. My career Road to Glory, at first I quite enjoyed my career in Road to Glory, until I realised, hey, this is empty. Road to Glory just gets repetitive after about like 5 matches. Pay-per-view, you have like one pay-per-view, like, oh yeah, this is really exciting. I wonder what the next pay-per-view has in store. Just another normal match. Just more times. against the AI. Again, incredibly easy. With the same broken mechanics. And to get to that stage, you have to fight many exploitative people that are unfair. Very unfair. I'll get to that in a minute in the online part, but and my career especially, I was excited with my career. It looked good until I realised there's nothing after WrestleMania. It's linear. You can't change what you do whatsoever. You are just going to face The Rock and Triple H. The most boring match. Ironically, the most boring match I played was the WrestleMania match. I stopped playing after that. Because it literally does nothing. After WrestleMania, it does what I wish it did, but way too much that I don't want it there anymore, and I want the boring linear path back. But it's not really my career, is it? It's your career that is slightly and sort of slightly, but definitely not always going to be a certain path career. You don't choose what you do. You have to win Money in the Bank. You have to win the Royal Rumble. You have to win WrestleMania. Also, at WrestleMania, I actually lost because I tried to put on a good match to entertain myself. I got bored, lost. I got bored, so I exited. And then it took me to the end. No, not the end. It took me out of the match because normally it just says that, oh, you have to win this match, which is dumb in itself. Why would you have to win a match? Like, why do you have to win every match? Anyway, you have to. It's like normally you have to win a match. So I exited. Okay, I'll come back later. This is really boring right now. It took me out. So I was like, wait, did Triple H win the championship? And then Todd, whatever his name is there clapping, and I won the match. Not only can you not lose, but if you do lose, you win. What? Because I don't have any footage of this, because this was ages ago and I wasn't really planning to do a video on this. And I just got the game and I wasn't really sure if it was bad or good. And then it was really, really bad. Really bad. Really bad. So, yeah. Dynamic Creation Suite. Customize your WWE experience with an unparalleled set of customization tools. It's very limited. A bunch of stuff you can use, but it's very limited. You can only use it with a set amount of stuff. And limited creation suite, you can barely use any of, you can barely combine any of them, and most of them are just dumb, uninspired, uncreative, stupid, horrid looking. Like, why would you put that on a wrestler? Even if it's, why would you put that on a wrestler? Even if it's like you're doing it as a joke. Why would you put that on it? It's not even like funny bad. It's just bad. Like this game. I was looking at the front cover instead by accident. What else is there? New custom match option. You can pretty much custom match tools. Pretty much set finishes. 2 out of 3 falls. And that's it. I mean, you can have 2 out of 3 falls table match. That's it. You can select the intervals for matches, which no, you couldn't do that anyway, but you could do it in the old ones, I think. Yeah. Not only that, but they also... Okay, actually no, I was going to say something, but I'll get to that later in the video. But, let's continue with this. My creation suite. The robust creation suite also offers even more detailed options for your create a superstar, create a video, create an arena, and the rest of your creations. As I said earlier, it's very dull, uninspired. It's pretty much what you've seen before. There's like 2 costumes or sets or anything that I haven't seen before. Actually, no, not even in arenas. None of it's creative. It's all just ripped from something. But create a superstar, create a video. There's only like 2 things that I could think of that. Oh, I haven't seen that before. And those 2 things, everyone. Sorry, I'm contracting radiation poisoning from this game. It's cancerous. Funny joke from 2015. Holy shit, it's Lee Fig. Yeah, also not only that, rarely you'll find an image that actually works in there that is high quality. It normally just compresses them and makes them terrible, for lack of a better word. The logos are bad, because, like, if you want logos to work with anything, which normally you'd want to, right? It makes sense. It's like 200 pixels on a HD screen. Let me see if this was HD. 200 pixels be about this. Actually, no, it'd be about this. This. Could imagine how low quality it would be if it spread out like this. Right? That's what the images look like in the game. Oh my god. Seriously, the biggest roster ever. Yes. But most of those are Sting, Triple H, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, The Undertaker, Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan. The biggest and brightest WWE Superstar Legends Hall of Fame is NXT. NXT, okay? Hold on. NXT. They're for female wrestlers. Okay, let me actually try and remember the NXT. NXT. That is actually not on the main roster anymore. Soy Fulton isn't even employed anymore. Nikki Cross, the only NXT female in the game that's still in NXT. Who else? Roderick Strong. TM61. DIY. Lars Sullivan in those DLC. That's an NXT DLC, so that's not really fair, is it? Who else is there? Only one person from the NXT DLC is still in NXT. So you can't really say, oh, it's a huge NXT roster. When they're the biggest names for NXT, so they'll probably be gone in a couple months, which they were. Biggest roster thing doesn't even matter anyway that much, since you won't really use half of them, and the AI is completely the same for all of them, rarely would you have a wrestler act like how they would in real life, like Fire Pro. I just really want to mention Fire Pro. I love that game. Rarely would an AI actually act like the wrestler is playing as, because it's just completely the same throughout all the roster. So it doesn't even matter. The personality traits barely play a factor. Like, oh, aggression, your wrestler will do a stomp. I'm not even sure if that affects it. I think it's just AI. I don't even think personality is a factor in that. Personality is a factor in that. Just everyone stomps. Especially on the line. You know, star-studded soundtrack from Dwayne Rock Johnson. That's not really something to be proud about, because you're not really making it. He didn't make it, he just chose it. And anyway, the choices are god awful. The only ones that I can actually think of that I actually enjoy are Last Man Standing from Mayday and Runaway Baby from Bruno Mars. That's the only ones that I actually thought were any good. Okay, that concludes the how many times can WWE lie on the package of their game. Actually, no, it's 2K. How many times can 2K lie on the package of their game? Spoiler. So actually, I'll just throw these on the floor. Goodbye. So let's continue with what I believe is the most important thing in a game: gameplay. Because I mean, it's in the title of it's in the name. The gameplay is very slow and clumsy, and the moves aren't creative whatsoever. And the only way to make good or interesting matches is by making edits. And not everyone has the skill, time, and tools to do so. The matches are also very repetitive, and there aren't many interesting things you can do in matches. Not only that, but it limits the amount of OMG moments you can do. The game is also littered with game-breaking glitches and bugs that that 2K don't patch. However, there are glitches that they do patch that doesn't break the game whatsoever. It actually makes it more fun, like the Steel Steps glitch or the Tables glitch. They just patched that for no reason. That they didn't even patch that correctly. You can still do it in the final patch of the game, just a different method that's pretty much the same. These glitches do not change the game in any way unless you choose to, or make the game unfair. So it's a compilation of the frustrating game-breaking glitches that WWE choose not to patch from day one. 2K. Not only that, but ever since 2K16, there has been, I'm not sure if it's a glitch or whatever, but you've been unable to break the roof of the cell, or you could break it, but they wouldn't fall through it, they just like move to the side of it, which was very annoying. It was very fun just throwing your opponent through the cell. But that was only unpatched recently in one of the recent 2K18 updates. How was it unnoticed? The AI is poorly programmed and difficult to wrestle most of the time. The gameplay is even difficult for multiplayer because of the lack of coordination capability in the game, which if I'm again, I'm sorry, then you can like then you as you walk into each other, they would commence in a grapple, and then you'd have to time it right to do your own move, which is actually quite realistic, really, because if you go into a corner of type with someone, you're going to want to be able to be faster than them, or time correctly so they can't reverse it, or time your reversal correctly so you can get the upper hand, which is quite smart and nice game. And and the game really needs more game modes to give it more replay value. Ideas and examples for game modes would be survival mode, GM mode. Oh, no one said that before. Season mode, Road to WrestleMania, a good story mode, or a new and reimagined season mode, sort of like my career, but actually good. And an arcade mode, which would be more akin to the older SBL SmackDown games, where you can just use everything freely. You wouldn't have to do environmental moves. It would just always be like that, and you would actually, surprisingly, that's more realistic because it's like you can interact easier with the environment in ways, even though this is supposed to be more, this game's supposed to be more realistic. So I hope you enjoy my critical analysis of WWE Games, more importantly 2K18. I hope it didn't come off too negative or mad or annoyed. I just don't want to be portrayed like that. I just want to be entertaining. Either way, I hope you enjoy my hit new series you can find on Netflix. YouTube Red original series. My new series, A Critical Hit, a name I definitely made up myself and no other contribution out there.